Recording Academy, percussion and extras.
All right, everyone, for this video, we're gonna be adding some percussive elements. And this is really the last of the recorded section until we get to mixing. I've actually had this comment on a few of my videos before, what clap sample am I using? Well, the truth is I'm actually just recording myself clapping into my SM7. So I'll show you how I go through that. And then also I'm gonna add a shaker track. I think that a lot of times with claps and shakers, you can, of course, like in the last video, we can use MIDI instruments a lot. There's so many people out there that have samples of tambourines, shakers, but really if you go to any sort of like Dollar General type store, you'll be able to get shakers and percussion elements. There's really no reason you couldn't be recording these things yourself. It does take a little bit of time, but if you want to get your music a truly more unique sound, you can go through and record your own percussion, and it's relatively simple. So I've got my SM7 plugged into channel 1, and essentially what I want to do is I want to make sure that my claps are registering something around -12. Of course, we don't need to be clipping whatsoever, but it's a pretty easy process. When it comes to claps, I don't actually need to hear the rest of the context of the song. I'm just going to create a new track. I want it to be an audio track. I'm going to call it clap 1. I'm going to make this a light blue color. I'm going to input 1, I'll click OK. I've got clap 1 selected. And now what I want to do is I'm just going to solo clap 1, and I'm just going to turn on the click track. And I just want to record myself clapping for a few measures. Now what I want to do is every few measures or so, I want to move to a further distance back, try to move back further, change the direction. I don't want to quantize any of my claps, but I need to layer these so it sounds like a lot of people. So I've got my click track turned on. I'm just going to start recording. We'll record this at different lengths. Okay, so that was pretty fun. I can go through here. What I want to do is I want to make a cut. I'm going to use the split tool. So I'm just going to hit 3 on the keyboard. So I have this little knife tool selected. And then I'm going to click right at measure 71. That's the downbeat of where I started. I was basically just clapping on the 2 and 4. So what I can do is I want to go about 2 measures deep. And I'm going to go to measure 73. I want to make another cut. And then what I need to do is duplicate this clap track. So I'm going to duplicate it so we have clap 2. And then simply click and drag this and make sure it lines up at downbeat of measure 71. I'll do the same thing. I'm going to make a cut. I want to duplicate this clap track. Drag this one down here. Make a cut. Duplicate this as well. Make another cut and so forth. We're just going to keep this going. Like I mentioned before, it's very important. I don't want to quantize any of the clapping because as soon as you quantize your claps, it's all going to sound like one clap. I don't want it to sound like one clap. I want it to sound like multiple people were clapping, and they all are going to have different timings. It's never going to be exactly the same. So now take a listen to all these claps together. Sounds pretty great. Sounds like clapping. So I can take this, I'm gonna copy it, I'm gonna select them all with Command C. So that's my copy. And I wanna start on chorus 1. I'm gonna go to the downbeat and measure 25. And I'm gonna hit Command V. So that'll put it in the chorus. And now I can just simply hit the D key to duplicate this as many times as I want it to be. Go all the way to verse 2 if I'd like. So let's take a listen to this in context with the rest of the song.
Sunrise when it hits her eyes and she gives me
All right, so that section where it says, I know where I've come from, I'm gonna actually select all of these. I'm just gonna shift and click each. And I'm gonna hit the backspace key. As soon as I do, now that section is turned off. And I like that for the choruses. So I can select this whole thing, hit Command C, I'm gonna paste this. It should be the same for the outro. I can just highlight all of these and hit the D key. And those are my claps. Now we'll talk about mixing them in a later video. When we start mixing, we can adjust the volume, panning, everything like that. So just to get an idea, we did panning in a little bit earlier video. So I can select clap 1. I'm gonna click this C and I'm gonna hit L20. So let's send it to the left 20. Clap 2, I'm gonna go let's do right 20. Clap 3, we'll do left 40. Claps 4 would be right 40. Claps 5, we'll do left 60. Clap 6 will be right 60. Just spreading these out. This one can go, let's do left 10. Clap 8, right 10. So not that far out. So now take a listen to them. They'll have a little bit more of a stereo feel. Okay, great. And last little piece of percussion, I want to add this shaker. And with the shaker, I do want to be able to hear context of the song. I'm going to create a new audio track, call it Shaker 1. We'll probably do 2 shakers here. Make it kind of orange. And I'm going to go back to the verse. I'm going to play a little bit and just kind of get a feel for how do I want this shaker to sound.
Where I come from, there ain't no palm trees, no beaches, no sand. No brand new shiny sports cars, just a few trucks on hand. There's a tire swing still hanging on the crooked old oak tree, where my Uncle Buck, when broke his arm doing tricks in '03. That creek is my ocean, those woods are...
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with a little on and off. So we'll go to the intro here. Let's start on verse 1.
Where I come from, there ain't no palm trees, no beaches, no sand. No brand new shiny sports cars, just a few trucks on hand. There's a tire swing still hanging on the crooked old oak tree, where my Uncle Buck, when broke his arm doing tricks in '03. That creek is my ocean, those woods are my shore. How could I, as rich as I, ever want more? Where I come from, come out. When we were half asleep, we heard an awful sound. A big ugly beast came tumbling as we all ran through the woods. And it wouldn't change one thing about that night, even if I could. Where I come from, where I come from, just a dirt road in the backwoods with the deer standing in front. Just a boat ride when the water's right and fish fall on my hook. That sunrise when it hits the rise and she gives me
All right, nice. So I like just having just the one shaker, I think will do. Obviously mess with the volume and stuff in just a little bit. I don't want to get into too much mixing. But one of the things that happens whenever I'm trying to stop the shaker from sounding, there's a little bit of a spill over. And in one of these sections, I did need to clean it up quite a bit. So let's go back here, going into chorus 2. Let's take a listen to that.
Even if I could.
See, I don't like that. So I'm gonna go in with my split tool. Again, I'm gonna hit 3 on the keyboard. I'm gonna make a cut just after that last hit. I make a cut right here. So that was 3 on the keyboard to switch to the split tool. And I hit 1 on the keyboard to go back to the mouse. I'll select this little audio region that I don't necessarily like too much. And if I hit Shift M, it will mute that little region. So I can always bring it back if I need it, but I think it'd be better off without it.
If I could, where I come from.
Obviously, too, with the shaker, we need to adjust the volume, so I can probably go -8.
Where I come from. Just a dirt road in the backwoods with the deer stand in front. Just a boat ride when the water's right and fish caught on my hook. That sunrise when it hits the horizon, she gives me a look. I know that I've already won where I come from.
Okay, doing a basic, just a little bit of a nitpicky mix. So with the claps, if you want to select multiple tracks at the same time, just hold the Shift key, click from the clap 8 all the way up to clap 1. You can highlight all of them, and then anything I do is going to affect all of them. So I click this right here where it had a 0. I can bring them all back to 0, so now the faders are at 0. But if I want to bring down the volume, I can click where it has 0 dB, type in -6, and hit enter, and now they're all quieter by that much. Also went through and turned down the pad sound. It's about at -8. It's just a little bit too much, but I'm happy with that. So that's with the shaker, the clap. You can do the same thing with the tambourine. Just grab yourself an SM7. Kept the foam filter on. It's not going through the cloud lifter whatsoever. I get just enough volume. When it comes to percussive elements, they're usually not so forward in your mix. So don't worry too much about getting a loud volume out of it because they're probably just gonna get turned down anyway. So with that being said, we've recorded all of our tracks. That's all of our instruments that are going into this production, but now comes the important part where we need to mix everything, and that'll be happening at the next lesson. So I'll see you there. Now there are many other videos here on my channel other than the Recording Academy, but make sure you check the playlist for Recording Academy for more lessons as they're being uploaded. YouTube is recommending this video just over my shoulder, so give that one a watch, and I'll see you at the next video.